Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast,
Boston's premier art podcast,
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
My name is Theodore Earthworms.
And I am Brian Huntress.
Welcome to the show.
Hello and welcome to the Boston Art Podcast.
Oh my God.
Boston's premier art podcast where we talk about Aerosmith, Red Sox, Lansdowne Street, the restaurants in the Back Bay.
Radio 99.9.9.
What else? Michelle Mayer Wu did something.
Michelle Mayer Wu.
I mean, fucking Mayor Michelle Wu did something, and everyone's kind of, is it good? Is it bad? We don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I'm so full right now.
We just ate some IHOP.
Yeah, I get home from work and Brian's like, I really want to go to IHOP right now.
I literally just saw a TikTok where it was a sketch where it was like these people... It was a sketch where it was like when you're with that one friend that's always mad for no reason, and just one offline in the middle of the TikTok was like, dude, we're in an IHOP right now.
And you're like, fuck.
And then I was like, I want IHOP. So then we went to IHOP.
It was funny because I'm not opposed to IHOP. Like, I'm down. But I feel like it's never... Unless you're doing it because it's an occasion... It's never your idea to go to a restaurant, like, at all.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
You never want to go to a restaurant. That's, like, absurd. Sometimes you'll pop for, like, Friendlies. Or, like, I meant Wendy's.
Never Friendlies.
I meant to say Wendy's. Like, if we're feeling really fancy, you'll be like, yeah, we can get some fast food, because I don't feel like cooking. And it'll be, like, an expensive splurge for you. Which is so funny, because, like, we could go to restaurants, but you don't want to, usually. It's not like we don't. But it's never the first idea that you have if we're, like, just trying to find food quickly at last minute.
I saw another TikTok recently where a guy was saying that his girlfriend is selectively frugal, where she, like, won't spend money on anything and is always saving, but then will just randomly buy, like, something fucking stupid for, like, $350. And I think that's kind of me, maybe.
That might be.
Like, where I don't want to spend money on anything, but I'm like... Oh, like, fuck it. I don't know what I'm even...
That's true, though.
Like, I'll just buy, like...
Nothing.
I don't...
You don't... The difference
I can't
is
even...
you just actually buy nothing.
I can't think of what I would buy for a lot of money randomly.
The only thing that you ever spend money on is, like, a new skate deck, and that's because you have to. You'll go insane.
Yeah, and that's only every couple months if I'm lucky.
No, you know what you would drop a couple $100 on all at once is canvases, but only if they were in bulk. If you found a good price on huge canvases, you'd drop, like, $400.
No, I fucking wouldn't. Are you crazy?
What if you found...
Try, like, $70.
That's still a pretty big splurge.
Yeah, not 400.
But...
That's crazy talk.
You just refused to get the food you actually wanted at IHOP because it was $15 and then spent $12 for food that you didn't like.
Well, I never said I was perfect.
Well, that's okay, because I got extra food.
Hey. Do you think that it was annoying and disruptive that we just randomly played a song in the middle of the episode a week or two ago?
Should we do it again? Did you play Jimmy 2 times?
Yeah, let me... Alright, here's another song, guys. This one fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Here it is.
You a Looney Tune, bitch, get your shit right. I'm tucking in your bitch, yeah, real tight. She like the way I fuck, yeah, not twice. That's why your bitch call me Jimmy 2 times. Jimmy 2 times, Jimmy 2 times. Fucking with your bitch, Jimmy 2 times. Jimmy 2 times, Jimmy 2 times. Fucking with your bitch, Jimmy 2 times.
Well, that was Jimmy 2 times.
And we're back.
So, here's the thing.
I like the musical hour. I think it's nice. It's giving, like, Welcome to Night Vale. Is that what it's called?
I've never listened to that. I know about it, but I've never got into it.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Alright, cool. Tell me why I should listen to it. Oh my god, I have to.
It's really good.
Alright, I get it. Maybe I'll check it out one day.
I used to do Welcome to Night Vale fan art. I did a bunch of Cecil drawings.
Oh, that's so cool. I don't know why I'm being a dick for no reason right now. Sorry.
I was just making fun of you for being frugal, so I guess you can make fun of me,
Frugal.
but not in the way you just did,
Frugal.
because that was kind of rude, actually. And I'm kind of mad at you.
Oh. Well, this kind of brings up, I've been just doing, so
Yeah.
I've been, in terms of music, I've been writing lyrics since I was since I was a little kid.
In the womb.
Since I was in the womb. I think the first time I ever tried to write lyrics, I was probably
In the womb.
No, I was probably like 10, 9 or 10 or something.
That's really cute.
And
Do you know what happened to them?
No idea.
God, that was
And
such
then
a good thing to find.
And the first times I ever like seriously was like, I'm gonna make songs. This is my identity now. Was in 7th grade, where I was to be a famous rapper one day.
Oh.
I was a young wannabe rapper.
Did any of those survive?
You know, it was like 2007, so there wasn't any easy way for people to just randomly record their own things.
Yeah.
So there are no recordings of me back then.
Oh.
But there is, you know what's so embarrassing and sucks so bad, but I'm kind of happy that it exists, is that in like 2011, there was this kid I knew named Greg who was in a band who had a home recording studio, which was rare to me at the time. That like, it was like crazy that this kid had this stuff, and he had like a vocal booth built into his closet. And me and my friend recorded a collaborative like rap EP. It was like 6 songs or something, and they are the most egregious, horrible, offensive. Like, I would probably go to prison if anyone heard them.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm not being, not literally, Theo.
Well, I know, but like, how bad is it?
Oh, they're just so embarrassed. They would probably be so embarrassing to listen to. And I don't have them. And there's only 2 places where I know they exist. There's one song that is just in my mom's iTunes on her laptop.
Oh.
For no reason. She just has one of the songs.
I want to hear it.
Maybe I'll show it to you. And then there's another song that's uploaded to one of my old friends' YouTube channels, and it just has like 1 view.
I want to watch that like ASAP.
It's not a video, it's just like an audio video.
Well, you know what I meant. It's on
You say you
YouTube.
can't watch it, really.
It's on YouTube though, so I can.
But yeah, anyway. But recently I've been just like writing and recording very, very bad and stupid songs, unironically,
Yeah.
just for fun. Like,
They're not bad. Some of them have been very, very good, actually.
like, I think like 1 out of 10 of them are kind of good, and the rest of them are just like memes.
Some of the meme ones are still good though.
Like the indie pop ones that I make, and like the one that me and you did,
Yeah.
that's on Spotify now, is very good in my opinion.
I like that one.
I don't know. I'm getting kind of fatigued talking about this. This is too boring of a topic.
Oh, well, I thought it was good. I really like, we can change the subject after if you want, but I just wanted to say that I really like the fact that you've been so expressive with music recently, because I feel like you go through like seasons of what your medium is, and recently you've been really, really heavy on the music. Like every time I come home from work, I feel like you are working on something, and it's something different every single time.
My life recently, well, because I've developed a new method of recording music recently. I didn't like develop it, but it's just where normally I would record music by completely fleshing out a song acoustic with vocals, just guitar and vocals, and then I would try to figure out the tempo, and then record a scratch track, and then record that to a drum track. This just annoying mess of multi-tracking. But recently, I just haven't been doing that at all, and I've just been only using pre-programmed loops and beats. And I've also just been, like, I make a guitar riff where it's like a 3 or 4 chord random thing,
Yeah.
and then I record 1 bar of it, which would be like 3 to 4 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
And then I clean up that 1 bar until it sounds nice, and then I just loop that.
That's what you did for Things Would Be Better, right?
Yeah, it's all loops. It's all recorded with loops and a drum machine, but I made the loops.
How do you feel about that?
It's way better. It's way better than just live tracking instruments. Live tracking instruments fucking sucks unless you have real studio equipment.
That makes sense.
And I fucking don't. I just have a couple mics, a dog shit interface with like one input, and a Yeti mic.
Why is it called tracking? Are you talking about just recording? Like recording?
Tracking is basically means the same thing as recording. It's like kind of synonymous.
You're recording a track.
You're recording a track, or so I think saying tracking means that you are recording a multi-track song. And multi-track means it's a song containing multiple tracks inside of it.
That makes sense.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, it's because multi-track would be the opposite of like a live recording. Which could be a multi-track live recording, but a live recording means a band just played a song and you recorded it. But
only one audio feed? Audio input?
Yes and no. Not necessarily. It's kind of a semantic.
I understand.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know.
I get it now.
Cool.
All right.
I was stupid before, now I'm not.
Hey, I never said that.
I was just kidding.
I'm smart.
I am very smart.
I don't want you to explain anymore.
Please stop explaining music things. Isn't it so funny? Like talking about music is probably the same thing as when somebody's trying to explain to you what's wrong with your car. That's how if somebody's like, oh yeah, it was like the catalytic converter and the fucking this and that. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like,
shut up now.
And mentally, that's what I'm saying with my mind. I'm like saying shut the fuck up to the person telepathically.
I don't feel that way about those things. I think I do. So my thing is, this might be an ADD thing more than it is like my interest thing, but I am very interested until I get lost, and then I just check out, and I don't tell the person that I'm confused. I just like dissociate. Sometimes, no, never mind.
What?
I was gonna elaborate on other times that I do that, but
other topics where you do that?
Yeah.
What other topics do you do that with?
Sometimes I feel like that when I'm at work, but not really.
Oh.
I'm just not telling the truth right now.
I don't do that at work ever.
I take really extensive notes because sometimes this is a thing that happened to me in college too. This is ADD actually, definitely, now that I'm saying this out loud. But sometimes I'll be listening and I know that I'm listening because I'm taking notes. Like, I'm writing down what the person's saying to me and I'm responding to them and going, and I'm looking at them and listening. And as soon as they're done talking, nothing. Retained no words. No idea what the fuck they just said. And then I look at my notes and they don't make any sense.
Ugh.
And I'm like, I'm so stupid. What happened?
Hey, can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
How do you feel? I'm not talking about you, and I'm not asking you to talk about me,
Okay.
but people outside of us.
Okay.
What do you think when somebody's telling you about a dream they had?
I think it's kind of cool.
Really?
Well,
like
it,
if like
it
just
really...
some guy like your coworker is telling you about a dream they had, and it's longer than like 15 seconds.
What's the context?
I don't know. They're like, yo, I had this crazy dream last night where my grandma was made of ants and my arms were rubber.
See, you and I have a very big difference here, where I really like to deeply analyze everybody that I spend time with. So I think maybe especially my coworkers, I would be fascinated to hear.
Whenever anybody is telling me about a dream, like when you tell me about a dream you had, it's relevant to your emotional and psychological world is relevant to me, and vice versa. But like when just somebody else is like telling me about a dream they had, I'm like, fucking shut the fuck up.
So that's why it's different, because it depends how long they're talking. It depends if the dream is interesting.
Yeah, if it's like a real quick one, we're like, oh yeah, I had a dream about my mom last night.
See, no, I would want fucking details about
See,
that.
okay,
What do
let
you mean?
me say,
Can
can I tell you about like a policy I have, or like a philosophy I have about conversation?
That you just hate it?
No, but
you hate it and don't like fun?
Conversation etiquette that I wish everybody followed
Okay.
is that you need to present hooks to people. You can't...
You have to be a storyteller.
No, I'm just saying, you can't just hold somebody hostage and be like, all right, listen to this. And then you just tell a fucking, 20-minute, boring, fucking stupid story.
That's true.
But what you can do is say, oh, man, I just had the craziest drive to work.
Yeah.
And then if somebody says, oh, wow, tell me about it. Now you get the chance. Now it's you got it. Tell this long, dumb story. But if you don't do that and you just make somebody listen to that story without them biting, you suck.
That's true.
You have to throw out a line, and then if nobody bites, then you don't tell your story.
Well, I think there's also an interesting nuance, though, that you accidentally mentioned when you put it in the context of it being a work story. Because I will sit there and listen to a boring story for way longer if I'm at work than normally. Depending on what I'm doing. If I have to get something done or I'm, at my desk or whatever, maybe that's different. But, if I'm doing a job where I'm, customer service or, waiting for something to happen, basically, and I'm just chilling and I'm there for the amount of time that I'm there regardless, I'll talk to anybody about fucking anything. I'm here for the vibe. I can't leave. Let's just get into it. Especially dreams. Look, because, I feel like it's a very different thing. When I talk to you about the dreams that you had, I kind of already know, your general emotional state, I would hope. I have a lot of intel. We talk every single day. I live with you. It's interesting in a different way because I'm deeply involved in your life and I care about how you feel a lot. But, do you understand? I can't comprehend that you wouldn't think it's interesting if, the guy that works at the cafeteria at the place where I work just started telling me about a dream he had about his mom. I would want to know.
All right. Well, now
I'd be tell me.
You're changing it a little bit because if a random stranger on the street came up to you and said, I had a dream about my mom, that would be a crazy thing that happened to you.
But that's not a stranger. Somebody you see every day, but you only know in a casual work capacity.
Okay. All right.
What if one of the people
So what you're saying is there's novelty to it because it would be a person that would never tell you about a dream.
Maybe they would tell me about a dream, but they wouldn't intentionally disclose deeply personal information, but through the context of telling me about a dream, they might accidentally do so.
All right, so let me change this. Maybe dreams were a bad example because dreams are more interesting than other types of stories.
That's true.
But what if fucking you're at work and Deborah, you don't work with anyone named Deborah, right?
No.
Deborah sits down and says, oh, Theo, I was with my brother-in-law the other day and he just got a new job and just started fucking telling you about some guy who got a job and it's been so hard for him to adjust.
That's when it really matters who it is, what they're saying, and what else I need to be doing.
Yeah, that's horrible. If a random person comes up to you and says, I had a dream about that my dog was an alien. Now you're in a Twin Peaks episode. That's now you're in an interesting situation.
So here's another thing though. I'll say that if you really push the monotony of that though, if you have the same coworker that keeps coming up to you and telling you just random details about their life, and even if they never ask you about your life ever and you would never hang out with them outside of work, but you see them 4 times a week and they do this for 20 minutes every day.
Oh.
I start to get invested at that point. Now I'm watching a reality show. Now I know everything about
You're
Deborah's
hate
son.
Watching somebody in real life?
No, neutral.
Oh.
Fully neutral. I just know a lot and remember everything they've ever said. And they don't remember that they told me all of that because they're the type of person who tells everybody stuff.
Yeah, I'm not like that at all. If somebody's trying to tell me a story that I didn't bite, I didn't necessarily solicit the story, if it's not somebody that I just actually like and appreciate, I'm completely checked out. If it's a friend or a family member or a pleasant acquaintance of some kind.
I love pleasant acquaintance stories.
Yeah, that's fine. If it's somebody that I like and I see around.
You know, honestly, even if it's somebody that I don't necessarily care for, I don't think that I'm trying to think, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain the social nuance of this without being specific about the context of my job, but I feel like I work at such a big place that almost all my social interactions that happen casually happen there, but they're not, it's not like I actually know everyone that this happens with, if that makes sense. I don't know, whatever. But it's kind of like being at a college. Like, you just encounter a lot of people. It's just a social place. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that I know that maybe I wouldn't hang out with in regular life, and they probably wouldn't even hang out with me in regular life, but we're friendly, you know? And when you see somebody so often, you just kind of, like, tell them about stuff, even if it's very surface level stuff. Like, maybe you don't know anything real about that person, they don't know anything real about you, and neither of you are curious, but they'll tell you about just some shit.
Yeah, I think that's also a little bit of, like, I think that you're in a better environment, too, because, like, I feel like the type of environment you are in, is more likely to have pleasant, interesting people than other environments.
That could be true.
For example, the people that I see on a daily basis during my workday are, like, people that are, like, trying to murder me.
That's not true.
That has happened to me. Like,
someone's trying to murder you?
Well, people have threatened me, attempted to engage in violence toward me, chased me.
Yeah.
You know, AI robot food delivery job here. My boss is a robot. I just stare at my phone until it gives me money and drive around.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there was one time where I was at an Italian place waiting to get the order or whatever, and there was a bunch of other food delivery asshole people like me there, and I cut a guy in line who was in front of me, because it's every man for himself. It just doesn't fucking matter when you're out there and everybody's like, Jessica F, Jessica, screaming at the people working there, trying to get their, like, bowl of spaghetti to deliver to somebody in Dorchester. It's like there are no rules. So I cut the guy in line. They helped me, gave me my food, and the guy just lost his fucking mind and was screaming at me. He's gonna fucking, like, kill me.
Sounds like there were rules.
Called me the F slur.
Oh my god.
As well.
What the hell?
I basically just got to my car as fast as I could while this guy was following me out of the restaurant, threatening me.
Wow.
Because my logic... All right. I have a personal policy about public confrontations as well, where I'm 27 years old, and that's young by a lot of standards, but, you know, I can't be getting in, like, a fight on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Over cutting somebody in line to pick up
past that point.
Yeah, that's not where I'm at. That's something you do when you're, like, a teenager. Anyway, but yeah, so that's the type of interaction I have a lot.
So maybe you wouldn't talk to that guy about his dreams.
Well, actually, so here's the thing. The type of person that would tell me about their dreams is definitely going to be somebody that is horrifying. Like, I was on the train the other day. This had nothing to do with work, but I was actually just probably going to the gallery during holding space.
Yeah.
And I was literally just sitting on the train. A guy gets on, comes up to me, and I didn't see him come up to me. Like, he just kind of appeared next to me, starts grabbing my skateboard and being like, yo, this is sick. Like, what kind of skateboard is... You know, because sometimes random idiot old guys want to talk about skateboarding from the 80s. And I thought it was like one of those things. But then I thought it was a guy trying to steal my skateboard. But then it turned into this fucking guy started telling me that he was possessed by the devil. He had the mark of the beast on his hand. He woke up with the mark of the beast. And that he was possessed. And that he woke up and had to fight a guy who was the devil, and they both were naked and fighting, and they switched penises. Sorry, this is graphic. They said that during the fight, their genitals switched, and he had to defeat the guy in order to get the mark of the beast off of him.
Did he win?
He won and got the mark of the beast off of him.
Did he give it to that guy?
I don't know. And then he just kept saying a bunch of other, like, super scary stuff. And the guy, I was sitting on the fucking chair, you know, the benches in the red line. And the guy was holding the bar, leaning over me, telling me all of this. And this guy was not fucking joking.
So how did he transition from skateboarding to switching penises with the devil?
I don't fucking
What
know.
was the, like, bridge?
There was no bridge, dude. There was nothing. Because as soon as the guy started, like, touching my skateboard and trying to talk to me, I knew that he was not, like, regular. Like, he was, like, not in a normal state of mind at all. Like, and he wasn't drunk or on drugs. He was just, he was, like, on a different plane of like, consciousness. But, yeah, it was so scary because it kind of, when people are in that... I worked in mental health for a while, and it's like, my experience when you're in a situation like that is that you just roll with it.
Yeah. And
you're just respectful, and you just go, wow, that's very cool, So that's what I did. I just went like, oh, yeah, so then, what happened next? So it was kind of like a guy telling me about his dream. I guess that's why I started saying that, huh?
Sometimes I talk to you, and it's just like a random sample of the experiences that you have. Just like any experience. Just like if you picked like 10 of them, and you picked like 10 of mine. Like, we live on different planets, I feel like.
We live in such different worlds.
Completely different lives.
Dude. Yeah. It's, I have a lot of confrontations. And the thing that's so disappointing about it is that all of them are because of my job. Never do I have a confrontation about art.
Yeah.
Not even in my family.
Your family gets along really well.
I barely have social conflicts with people that I know these days. Like, I live a very peaceful life.
You really do.
Except for my fucking AI robot delivery job.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe we don't need to get into it right now.
It's okay. But the only reason that I do it is because it's easy and it offers me flexibility that nothing else can offer me.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that. That's it. That's why I'm doing it. Because I'm living in 2023. And that's what we all do these days. Is shitty fucking jobs to scrape money.
I like my job.
Well, here's the thing though. You have a good job and you worked for it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Makes me feel meaning.
Yeah, you have a good job and you care about it and you work to get it, and that's a good thing. I'm not comparing my job to yours.
I don't know. I think that you make really good money though.
Yeah, then that's the
you make better money than
that's
I do.
the only thing that matters to me. Not
That's
that I
fair.
make good money, but that I have fuel to survive.
I think that's fine. I think you're
Fuck
doing a
it.
good job. I just think that the only part I disagree with is that there's not other things that offer that flexibility. I think that there's other options out there.
That's okay. We don't need to have a career intervention for me on this episode.
Okay.
It's okay. It's obviously not something I'm going to do forever, but I'm almost like 3,000 deliveries in.
Damn, that's crazy.
I think I have like 2,500 deliveries. So I'm grinding.
The only thing that kind of sucks about my job is that I always want to talk about the things that I have been learning and doing, because something like the nature of the job that I have is that I'm always learning new stuff, and like they're all very complicated, like, well, not complicated I guess, but they're very technical things, but they're all like new formatting things in Excel or like data processing stuff. Like, it's all like really, this is what I was gonna say, is like when I try to talk about it, and when I hear something for the first time, sometimes it's like my brain switches off, like what you were saying about cars and music. Like, I can't tell people about the new thing that I learned.
Hey, I just had a really funny idea.
See, it just happened.
What?
What was your idea?
What? No, it's about what you're saying.
What did you say?
What if we did an episode of the podcast that was also a video episode that was us you just teaching me how to use Excel? And I'll just try my best to actually learn what you're trying to teach me. And it'll just be a whole episode of you teaching me Excel.
The only thing is, one of us would have to buy Excel.
Oh, do you not have it?
No. My work computer has it. I guess I could remote into my work computer on my laptop.
Yeah, but that's maybe that's not a good idea to be recording it. We would be recording the screen.
Well, it'll just be the Excel screen, but
Anyway,
maybe that's not.
what do you think people thought of that episode that wasn't an episode, where it was just me for most of it? Do you think that a lot of people were like, this is weird, and just clicked off of it?
I don't even know what you said on that episode.
And you never will.
Maybe I'll listen to it.
You never will listen to it. Why would you?
I consume all of your other content. I am like a Brian Huntress content fiend.
You are my personal audience.
Do you know that sometimes I on purpose stream your new songs over and over and over and over and over again as a surprise for you?
As a surprise for me?
I'm just kidding. Because I definitely only do it for long enough that it would get you like maybe like 60 plays, which isn't really that much in the scheme of things, but it's a lot from me.
Well, I appreciate
lot
it.
for one
I love
person.
you. Thank you very much.
I love you too. I just like waterboard myself with your songs when you release a new one.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's not really what waterboarding is, but
No, that was I think an apt metaphor.
I think you knew what I meant.
I think I did. Yeah, I don't think now I'm kind of wondering if you think waterboarding is something that it isn't.
Wait,
What did you just mean by that?
I meant
Like water torture, where people pour water on people to torture them?
that's what waterboarding is.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is when you listen to a song over and over again.
I mean, I'm just saying metaphorically that works.
I was thinking like Clockwork Oranging,
Well,
but that's not really.
it's funny that you brought up waterboarding, because that's just something else that the American government does to political and military prisoners. Is force them to listen to songs over and over again.
Well, that's why I think I associated them. But anyway, hot water. Remember we used to do that? It's getting hot.
Oh, hot water or
It's not
too
really
hot?
hot
Whatever.
water.
No,
I think
we
everybody
didn't.
knows
No,
that.
we didn't say too hot water. We just said something else.
Too hot. I think.
Yeah, just like too hot, or that's too hot.
We just gave up on that really quickly.
Well, whatever. Speaking of
What?
Speaking of government torture, low key. A few years ago, I went to the RISD Museum, and
You hated it?
no,
It was terrible?
No, they literally just had an exhibition that was about like Guantanamo Bay and Abu Ghraib and like different forms of torture that the American government has inflicted on people.
Wow.
And it was like such a haunting exhibition, because like they had one part of it where they were playing songs that the government, that the, you know, I don't even know what words to use, but like that they would force them to, you know, have you heard about that?
Yeah.
That they make them listen to shit like 500 fucking times in a row nonstop for like multiple days.
Wasn't there a big court case like a while back because some band found out that the government was using their music to do that, and they got really upset about it, and then another band like volunteered their music to replace it or something?
Yeah, I think Metallica might be actually was in favor of the American government using their music. I think I heard that somewhere. I think one of the songs was a Britney Spears song.
Oh, that's
It was
sad.
like Toxic by Britney Spears.
That's so fucked up.
It's kind of...
She probably did not condone that.
yeah, but I highly doubt...
She was under conservatorship at the time.
I bet you could find an answer to this maybe, but I would be surprised if she owned any music she's ever made. I bet like Universal fucking just like owns all of it outright.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So she probably doesn't make any decision like that. Just like T Swift with all of her new albums, the Taylor's version stuff. Which is fucking crazy that she's doing that. I listened to, she released one that was remember Our Song, I think it was? Our song is a slammed screen door, sneaking out late night. I think she did one of those where it was a new version where she just re-recorded it. And I was so impressed by it was just like fucking identical.
Wow.
Like, how do you do that? Like, it's like, it's just really, like, I know that she's like working, like, you know, anything she makes probably has no budget. So there's probably, infinite resources and people and professionals to hire.
Yeah.
But I was just like, how, like, that's just like crazy. Because it's like even when you re-record something, like if I try to re-record something that I made, like just clone one of my songs, no copy and paste thing, just literally re-record everything, it would be fucking so hard.
Huh.
I feel like, to make it sound exactly like the original that everyone will be familiar with.
Weird. It
'Cause-
sucks that she has to do that.
Because she could obviously make maybe a new version of it or a better version of it, but she probably doesn't want to do that, right? She probably wants to make...
She wants her song.
Yeah, and for people to like it just as much as they like the one that they grew up listening to.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like when Willow Smith had that "Meet Me at Our Spot," and there was the live version that was viral on TikTok,
Yeah.
and everyone loved it. But then the studio version that was out, that video was promoting, was just weird.
Oh.
Like, it was slightly different. Like, the hook was recorded like differently. Like, it was just different.
Yeah.
And people didn't really listen to it the way that they wanted to listen to the one that went viral.
Caught a vibe.
Yeah, that's what it was. Caught a vibe.
Baby, come on the ride.
That's like
I have that on my playlist.
I haven't heard that on TikTok in like 2 years.
Well, TikTok songs are like that.
But every once in a while, one just randomly jumps out at you. Anyway. You know, you were talking about one time that you had two people in your life, and one of them used TikTok as much as you did, and the other person didn't.
Yeah.
And there was that like weird disconnect
Yeah.
that you felt like in the conversations because like of TikTok.
There was one time that we were talking about eyebrows. I don't remember what was even said about bleached eyebrows, but somebody told the girl that was like more offline, that didn't have TikTok, your eyebrows look so good today, they look like you bleached them. And she thought that we were making fun of her, because she was like, why would I look good if I had no eyebrows? We were like, no, you don't get it, that's cool, like Doja Cat just did that. She was like, what the fuck? Like, why would that be cool? That sounds hideous. We were like, no, it's not like real life cool, like you wouldn't really do it. It's like online.
It's just like for the internet.
Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
That was a cute attraction. That was fun. It is weird. It's like it's like a different... I don't even know if subculture is the right term, but I guess it is.
That's kind of an interesting thing because the word that I keep wanting to use is dialect, but that's not the right word.
Yeah.
So it's almost like there's another layer where it isn't dialect or language, but it's just culture. It's like a cultural fingerprint on top of it.
Dude, speaking of fucking which, I wanted to talk to you about something that's happening right now that
What?
I have never seen happen before.
What?
An internet speak trend from when we were kids is coming back in style right now.
What is it?
Instead of typing typing ERMMM. That is a new thing on TikTok right now. The people are doing that on purpose as a like throwback thing. Like young kids right now are adopting I thought that it was like millennials doing it and it was cringe, and I realized all of these people were like 17, and I was like, whoa. And then I saw someone ask, why is everyone typing and some other teenager responded to them and was like, it's a new way to write And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's an internet text vintage trend.
You know what would be so funny if advice animals came back?
Advice animals.
You know what they are? It's a meme format where it's a picture like Bad Luck Brian, Scumbag Steve.
That's what those are called?
Yeah.
Oh.
The subreddit that type of meme originated from was called Advice Animals.
Oh, weird.
And
I thought there was another name for that.
I mean meme, right?
Yeah, but there was another name. I don't know.
Image macro, perhaps?
Maybe.
That's another antique internet term that just refers to a picture with words on it.
There's another term,
Kind of a weird
it's like
idea.
Big text or something. I forget. I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, can you imagine? Because it's funny. I feel like I still like impact font, and you can still use it tastefully without it looking like a meme.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have the black backdrop. Like if you do impact font, white impact, where it has a black shadow, now it's memey. But if it's just white, and it's like, I don't know, it can look kind of nice.
Or if it's just black.
See, it's a matter of taste, obviously, but I would never use black impact font. I feel like that would look weird.
Well, it depends what you're using it on anyway.
I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's funny that you said, oh, you wouldn't do it in real life. You'd just do it for, for TikTok or for the internet.
Yeah.
About bleached eyebrows. Because I kind of feel that way about the music that I'm making right now.
What do you mean?
Because in the past, I would have been mortified to make a rap song. Or like, to put it into context for the people listening, something that I've been experimenting with is like, what if I just made a completely unironic, full send, like, disco song? Or like, what if I just made a full effort, like me, like, rapping over, like, techno house music.
Yeah.
And like, the idea of doing that in the past, because I was completely only live centric. I wouldn't dream of making music that I wouldn't be able to perform live.
Yeah.
And I just completely don't care about that anymore. I don't give a fuck about live. I love performing live, and I'm gonna do it. And obviously, I'm gonna keep doing it. But I just don't care. So I'm making a lot of music that would be unbelievably impractical for me to perform.
Yeah.
Like the music that I'm making right now, I would need like to play it as a backing track and to sing over it with vocal effects, which would be
not that hard.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, now take that idea of me doing that and like put it at like some like DIY venue of like folk punk people, with me being like, fucking ass bitch. Like whatever dumb ass shit that I'm saying in my lyrics.
I mean, you could do that exact same thing in a DIY venue with other artists doing that kind of music.
Right, yeah.
I feel like it's not because the music is embarrassing, that's just the genre clash. That'd be true for whatever you're playing.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, yeah, but that's not a thing around here, really. That's not happening here. So, and like, I just don't care anymore. So I'm just like, what if I just put out an album that was just like what's really stopping me besides my own embarrassment and hesitation from just putting out like an instrumental house album?
Yeah.
Why not? Like, what the fuck is the problem? What's the big idea? If I deleted it all tomorrow, like 99.9% of the world's population, like literally more than that, would never know.
Yeah.
like not even 100 people would notice that I deleted it. So like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, it's true.
Right? I don't know.
It's a freeing thing to think like that too.
So yeah, so I'm just like, why not just like shitpost? Like, it's like everybody I know has this whole thing where they're like, oh, like maybe I would post a demo on SoundCloud. Maybe, or like maybe I would put out an unfinished song as a clip on like Facebook, posted privately. I don't know, but like most people I know, or everybody I know, wouldn't dream of like shit posting through DistroKid.
Yeah,
that is like absurd. But I'm just like, that I think is behind the times. I think that's an outdated way to think.
I agree, and I also think that the reason for that, like the reason why it's outdated, is maybe this is what you're leading into, is like it's kind of a question of where your audience is, right? Because if you are always thinking about the people that are in your immediate network and what they're going to think of the work that you do, then you're making music for your immediate network. Right, and that's horrible. And that's true not just for music too, but it's like to connect to what we were just talking about, like how people dress. Like I know people that have really, really good style that dress in a way that is probably most of the people who see them every day either don't get or don't appreciate. And it doesn't matter because that's not the audience. Like, I don't know. Who do I see most every day when I wake up? Like the people at my job, like your family, you, whatever. Like my mom. Yeah. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's most people, is they have this like people that are in their family, their roommates, like people in their immediate network that they see every day. And yet there are still people that we both know who dress punk or dress alt or dress hot, like, they're not dressing for their roommate or their mom. Like, they're dressing for
their micro digital ecosystem.
That, or just because they think it's sick. But
That's
like,
true.
You can't measure your own limitations by what other people would be, like, shocked by. Because, like, most of the people that you interact with every single day are going to be, like, first of all, much less interested in you than you think that they are, for one thing. Like, probably nobody would be shocked by most things. But also, on top of that, like, why do you care?
I know.
Some people care so much.
Well, I think especially, I mean, with fashion, maybe even more than music, honestly, people are not as free thinking and like, oh, do whatever you want. Oh, to express yourself. Like, I feel like nobody really means that.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, your friend group might be like, dude, like, you can wear anything you want. Like, nobody will think it's weird. Like, dude, express yourself. But then if you showed up wearing like a green 3-piece suit and a top hat, like, everyone would be like, people would stop talking to you.
What the fuck?
Like, I'm just saying, like, if you really did push that limit, like, when people are like, do whatever you want, it's fine, and then you do too far. Like,
so that's the fucking thing, though. I think that the difference there is that if you, like, are you doing that and then seeking approval from those people for doing that? Or are you just wearing the suit because you think that it's ill? And if anybody talks to you about it, fuck them. Because if I knew somebody that showed up to my house or something, or just, like, came over to hang out and smoke a bowl, and they were wearing, like, a green suede 3-piece suit and a top hat, and then they were, like, weird about it...
This is kind of like the conversation we had about
talked about this
the corn
already,
cob pipe.
Yeah, like, you can't be a bitch. Just own it.
Like, imagine somebody with a corn cob pipe that was embarrassed
But
that they had
think
the
about
pipe.
this, though. I don't think we talked about it this way. Imagine your friend showed up to your house, and they're wearing a green fucking 3-piece suit and a top hat and a corn cob pipe, and then you try to talk shit to them about it, and they're just like, what? Like, whatever. And they just keep doing what they're doing. And now it's kind of sick. Now, actually, I respect that a lot.
You know what's really funny is that actually reminds me of high school when I switched schools for the last time, where I went from Independence Academy, an alternative school with only like 8 students, not in a fancy way, but in like an expulsion way. Like, and then I went back to public school, and when I was at Independence, everybody there, you know, they were like 15-year-olds that had like smoked crack or like, you know, like it was like everybody's background was so shocking that nothing was weird.
Yeah.
And then
at Independence?
Yeah, everybody was so accepting of each other because everybody's background was so bad and weird.
Yeah.
So that when I transferred back to regular school, the people that I hung out with were the kids that were like wearing like capes to school and like had something wrong with them or had no friends or something. I was like, these people are so much better than other people that I could be friends with.
Yeah.
Because I am in their category more than everyone else's category because of my life situation.
Yeah.
And because they had the same energy as the people from my old school.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
You know what's so funny? We had such different, like, educational and, like, different upbringings in general, but I wound up in the same pool of people because of being homeschooled.
Yeah.
Like, the way that I saw it, which I don't even know if I stand by this, but this was my perspective at the time, so it's kind of all I remember. But I just thought that, like, so many people my age when I was in high school were just, like, cowards because I had no concept of, like, social hierarchy or, like, real bullying or anything. Like, I'd never been, like, beaten down, so I didn't, like, get it that some people were, like, shy about stuff. So, like, I was wearing, like, knee-high, like, water boots and, like, tie-dye hoodies and, like, sunglasses with mustaches attached to them and, like, just the cringiest, dumbest shit because it was, like, funny to me.
You were random.
But it was, like, intentional randomness because I thought it was, like, stupid and funny.
I knew what you meant.
I was that kind of person.
Yeah.
But there were no consequences ever. Like, I could just do that all the time. Yeah. And then all of my friends are people that also did that were probably getting, like, viscerally bullied.
But it meant something different because they were in a setting.
Yeah, but I didn't ever experience that setting. I just met them. We met up at, like, the coffee shop or the mall or something after school. So we were all the same to all of our perspectives. But I ended up, later on, I realized, like, I was in the anime club.
Yeah, me too. I was literally in the anime club, and I have not even watched. I've never even completed an anime before.
I was an anime kid for a bit, but I only watched, like, I used to do that thing where I just, like, watched the same, like, 3 anime over and over. Like, I was really into Fruits Basket, I was really into Death Note, and I was really into Full Metal Alchemist, and I was pretty into Studio Ghibli, and that's it.
I mean, Studio Ghibli movies,
I don't know if that even
I've
counts.
seen a few of those, but those are movies. I meant, like, I've never, like, watched, like, you know, like a 19 season fucking
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, it was just those for me.
whatever, fucking, yeah.
But, yeah, I was so sad that I couldn't be in anime club for real. I, like, wanted to be in anime club and they wouldn't let me in.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school.
I was there and it was terrible. It was fun to just hang out with my friends, but there was no anime produced in anime club.
Is that what it was for?
I think it was just a bunch of kids with like drawing tablets, like just like working on a like a web comic that's never going to exist.
I didn't even know that. I thought you just like hung out and talked about anime.
No, it's like art club but anime.
Oh.
That's what it was at my school, at least. Because there was the Images Club, which was the art kids that also smoked cigarettes. And
yeah, I also had some Images friends.
yeah, and I felt rejected and not a part of their group. So I pointedly didn't join Images Club and joined the manga anime club because they were nicer people, and the Images, like people that wore like Toms and slacked beanies. I felt like they were mean losers.
They probably were.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still know some of those people, and they're like completely normal people. But back then, it meant something. Like the suede shoes.
Well, it was
that
so
they had.
normal to be mean when you're that age, too. That's
Yeah.
another thing. I was thinking about that the other day. And I was like, I don't think that I was actually that mean of a kid. Like, I was pretty nice, and I had a lot of friends, and I don't think that I was regarded as mean. But some of the stuff that I used to do, like, it's not really that bad, but I would never do it now. Like, just the shit that I would say.
Like what?
Well, like, you know what I was a really big offender of was hearing a mean-spirited rumor and just fully believing it with no question and repeating it.
Well, that's a symptom of youth.
I guess
That's
so.
not like a character flaw in you. If you still did that, that would be bad. But that's
so
what
weird.
kids do.
But just like something insane that, I guess, yeah, maybe that is being a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. Is like everybody was an asshole when they were like 17.
Absolutely.
There was this one thing. I actually don't know though, because there's some intel that I have about people that like maybe still like live in the state or like I'm friends with on Facebook or whatever, and I'm just like, were you really a stalker, or was that a lie, or like did this really happen? Did you do that, or is that not even true?
Yeah. So
It's probably not true.
Well, I've had a few experiences like that where I remember seeing somebody in full adulthood that I had a very, very negative opinion of, or heard something absolutely, had some horrible association with, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, who knows? And then I talked to them for like 10 minutes and I'm like,
I knew he was true.
oh yeah, that person's bad.
Yeah.
That's a bad guy,
Yeah. Well, it's 50-50.
But sometimes, who knows? I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Well, I think you can tell the difference, though. Like, there are some people... I feel like there are some people that... Like, it depends on what the rumor was. Because, like, I know... We talked about this recently, that, like, 17 and 18, like, from my perspective now, that feels so young. But it's not that young. Like, if there's a rumor going around about, like, an 18-year-old boy that he punched his girlfriend, that's a bad guy. If that guy did that, that's a bad guy. Still. No contest. Hands down. If a girl did that, probably kind of fucked up. Like, that's not good. But if it's a rumor that's like, I don't know, this girl stole all this girl's clothes and then tried to fuck her boyfriend, it didn't work, she's ugly, and that girl's like a nurse now, like really nice.
Yeah.
Like, has nobody that dislikes her, it probably wasn't true.
Well, there's different kinds of, like, I mean, here's the thing.
Just a character assassination.
You can hear a he said, she said. In, like, the older you are, the easier it is to hear that in something. If somebody says, oh, like, Mike over there, he went to jail for attempted murder, That's not he said, she said. That's like, oh my God, that dude did something bad.
Yeah.
But if they were like, oh yeah, Mike, dude, he he fucking, like, he cheated on his, or I don't know, like, I'm like, not to like minimize cheating, or I don't know. I tried to think of something, whatever. You get my point.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like, whatever. It's like, I don't know about all that. I wasn't a part of that. But if it's like, oh yeah, that guy killed somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think this goes back to our first conversation where it's like, depends on the rumor and how bored I am. I'm not going to repeat it, but maybe I'll want to hear it.
I don't know, because like,
if you're going to tell me, I'll listen.
here's the thing. If somebody says, oh, did you hear this? I'm going to listen. But if somebody says, did you hear about this rumor?
Oh, I still listen.
Then I'm probably like, I'm going to tune this out. I feel like, because I feel like that's the way, because rumors are kind of like parasitic in a way where it's like, even if you know it's not true, you still heard it.
I mean,
And it still has some kind of like, almost like, it's almost, what's the word I'm looking for? It has this like immaterial presence.
I don't know though, because I think that when I hear a rumor about somebody, first of all, my policy with stuff like that in general is I don't repeat shit that I hear about people's personal lives unless I heard it from them and they said it was fine. Because like, if it's true, shouldn't be saying it. If it's not true, shouldn't be saying it. Just don't do that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Unless it's like you, I tell you stuff, but that's different. You're the one person I tell stuff
What
to.
do you think about that? Like, have you ever seen memes like that where it's just like, I don't know, where
It's a given. If I have a like best friend that is telling me a story, or if I'm telling my best friend a story and they have a boyfriend that they've been dating for a couple years, I know that guy knows. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
I feel like, yeah, that, but within reason. Like, there are, like, it's like that may be true for 99% of things. But there may be a small window, like a small category of things that
there are some
would
things
be
that
too
I
far.
wouldn't tell you about like my close friends just because it would be unnecessary for you to hear,
And like violating.
yeah, like
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just
that's
saying,
actually true.
for
I'm
your,
just talking about, like,
for our own sake, that's
Yeah.
important to clarify.
that's true. Like obviously I'm not gonna like just randomly tell you like
Of course. You don't have to give an example.
well, obviously I'm not going to do that because I'm saying that I'm not going to tell you. But I'm saying, like, I don't know, like, somebody's sex life stuff or, like, something that's, like...
Sure, yeah.
Like, why the fuck would I... be like, hey, Brian.
Right, of course not.
But, like, the headline? Maybe not of that story, but, like, if somebody, like... Oh, like, okay, here's an example. I find out somebody got, like, fired from their job. The friend of a friend, whatever. Or this person, like... got in a fight with their partner and everybody's talking about it or whatever, would not tell 99% of the people that I know about that. If somebody wanted to tell me about it, fuck it, I'm all ears. But I'm not going to go around and tell like 10 more people that story.
Right.
Like,
and
keep your fucking mouth shut.
I love firing stories. Unless they're sad. unless it was somebody being like victimized and they lost their job through some horrible, unfair thing. That's not cool. But if somebody's a fucking dumbass, should we like get off this right now? Like if somebody's a fucking idiot and then they get...
Yeah, I just think you shouldn't repeat anything about anybody's personal life ever. And the reason, one other thing I'm going to say about that though, is that the reason I think that gossip isn't as maybe parasitic as it was when I was younger is that I didn't have any kind of inkling of like I don't think that any of us, or maybe there were better people than I in high school, but everybody was telling everybody everything. So if you were someone who told somebody something, you weren't an asshole. It was just like, this is what everybody did. Unless it was about like your best friend. Like there's exceptions where it's like, there's like one or two people that I'll tell something to. Then it was like, there are one or two people that I wouldn't tell anybody anything about. But I would tell everybody everything else about anyone, and it wouldn't reflect poorly on my character. Like, that's just how it is, and that's how we all are, and everybody knows it, and get fucked if you are on the side end of that. But now, if I'm like talking to another adult, and they're like, hey, did you hear that so-and-so fucked? It's like...
weird.
It's like, yeah, tell me, but now I know that about you. Like, I'm judging you, but finish the story.
Interesting. Interesting.
I would never, alright, honestly, I would never repeat it, because I don't want anyone to judge me for repeating it.
So that's the reason you never repeat
Maybe
it,
there's
because
more. Maybe
you
I
don't
also
want to bear the mark of the
Yeah.
the passage of the rumor.
Like, even if you're a fucking bitch to me and I hate you, you can't say that I talk shit about you, because I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to show my ass like that.
I see.
You know what I mean? I'm just kidding, but also it's not a lie.
I had a job years ago that was like so like I basically, long story short, I had this one coworker that would constantly gossip and talk shit about other people to me all the time, and it was like, and we were like friends, and I had like, we would like confide things, and she would like tell me stuff that was going on, and like when I wasn't there, and I would do the same thing, and it was like a bit of a conspiracy between us, you know. And then I found out from another coworker that I basically had gotten into deep shit with another person. I had really pissed off another person because that fucking person that I was in a conspiracy with had been repeating everything I was saying to other people the whole time. Mm-hmm. And I was too stupid to know that. And like, I just was betrayed, basically. And it was like,
That's fucked up.
it's like what you just said. Like, you know, you don't talk shit to people even if you trust them, just because there's just that off chance collateral damage.
I mean, I do talk shit, but only to a very small group of my real best friends.
Right.
I think that's true of everyone, so I'm okay with saying
That's well, that's not true of everybody, because there's some people that are too loose and too
I know there are
indiscriminate.
people that also do, but I think anybody who says that they never say anything about anybody are liars.
So that's kind of a fundamental human question. Is there anybody that
Am
doesn't
I a bad
talk
person?
Is there anybody out there that doesn't talk shit about other people?
I also think it's important, though, to define what you mean. Like, just to...
Yeah, because people who say, I don't talk shit about anybody, just have some, like, ultra-specific, like, version of what they think talking shit is.
Like, here's one thing. I don't like... I think there are times where I do this sometimes when I'm feeling really negative, but I don't like to just negatively talk shit about somebody, even if it's like just to you, or even if it's just in my head. Like, thinking horrible shit about someone and like wishing ill upon them, that is icky energy, and I don't like doing it, and I don't like repeatedly doing it with other people about the person. Like, it's just not... That's not cool in general. It's bad for your mental health. It's not a good energy to put out into the world. It's just, I don't really think that that's great. No matter what your relationship is to that other person, even if they've done you wrong, it's just not great to dwell on that shit. But when I say talk shit, it's like if I heard something kind of juicy and I know that it's like not me being my higher self to be like, ooh, like, that's what I mean. Like, obviously I do that. But, like, I'm not around here just like, oh, I hate this fucking person. I hope they die. Like, I hope they get fired. Like, telling lies about people behind their back. Like, that kind of stuff, that's icky behavior. That should be in the past, and I want to make clear that I don't do that.
Because then there's some people that will have conversations, private conversations, with their friend about another friend where they personally don't feel like they're being mean, but they're talking about bad things this person did, or talking about them critically, or how they think they should change, or this or that. People do that sometimes, and that is talking shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, am I alone in thinking that?
You know, actually, that's true. That's something...
Because people who do that feel like, and even if I do that occasionally, like, and you don't feel like it's talking shit when you're doing it, but I kind of feel like it is.
I actually hadn't really thought about that a ton, but that is another rule that I do have for myself, that in the past I didn't. But if I have a, like, blended friend group where, like, I'm friends with this person and they're friends with this person too, and we all hang out individually and together or whatever, if I have beef with person A, or if me and person A got into something, and I'm also friends with person B and so are they, or actually just fucking usually in general, unless somebody literally hasn't met the other person, I'm not gonna vent about that to person B without, like, being fair to person A. Maybe I wouldn't even talk to them about it at all, depending on what happened.
But what do you think of when somebody you know did something objectively fucked up and everybody's staying neutral even though they know the person did something objectively fucked up?
I am not that kind of person. I will either confront that person or not be friends with them anymore.
Well, I should qualify.
I don't know if that's a great way to be.
Yeah.
But I can't handle that. If somebody is being objectively fucked up, because like here's the other thing too.
Maybe we should qualify what fucked up means. I don't mean
that,
like
yeah.
I don't mean like
I have a very specific parameter for what is past my boundaries, but once it goes there, it's like whatever. Like if you're fucking somebody over, if you're being mean to someone for no reason, if you're like obviously if you're like stealing or something like that, like whatever, but like assuming it's not like a crime.
Whatever, theft is fine.
Well, I'm saying assuming it's not something that's like obviously out of the question. If you're being a douchebag and you know that you are, like if you're bullying somebody or like making fun of someone for something or whatever, like and nobody's saying anything about it, I'll fucking say something about it. I've done that in recent history. If you are like being like something that really bothers me is when people like don't argue with you, but you know that they're pissed and they're like talking about you to other people, but they're not telling anybody why they're mad and they're not telling you why they're mad, and when you try and ask them about it, they won't tell you.
Oh my god, fuck that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that. That's been my life.
It's like either
For a few.
I don't know. I think in order to have healthy relationships, I need things to be out in the open, and I would rather you argue with me and say your piece, and if I did something wrong, fucking hold me accountable for it. Don't be like stewing in the corner alone. And if you are and it's my fault, I'm gonna go own up to that, be like, yo, what did I do? Like, how can we fix this? Because I want to do that and move on from it instead of sitting in this feeling for however long, because that's a waste of all of our time. And if it's a friendship where that person is insistent on doing that, I'm done. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You just want to hang around and hate me? Or I want to hang around and hate you. Like, that's what I'm... Like, it's not good to dwell in that negativity. And, I mean, that can result in the end of a friendship sometimes, which is...
It usually does.
Really painful.
It usually
But
does.
I don't know what the fuck you want if it's just, like, we're just gonna sit here and hate each other. Like, you're either in or you're out. And I think that's the thing. Like, if I'm in on someone, like, if that is my fucking friend and they're doing something stupid and they fucked up, my job, if I have that much of a problem with it, is to go talk to that friend and be like, yo, you're making a mistake, or I feel uncomfortable about this. Can we talk about it? Because I'm extending my faith and confidence in them. Like, I'm your friend because I know that you're a good person. I know that you mean well. Like, that's why we're friends in the first place. And I care about you and I love you because of these reasons. So if that is all true, I know that this person is going to hear me out and want to know what I feel about this thing. And if it's my business or it affects my life in some way, they're going to care about how I feel. And usually you can move forward from that if you go to somebody with that energy. It depends what it is, obviously, but I don't know. If somebody's fucking up in their own personal life and they're not hurting anybody, I usually just don't even do anything about that. It's like, whatever. Yeah. I personally wouldn't do that, but good for you. Let me know how it works out.
Oh, man.
But, I don't know. You gotta address shit. Otherwise, just, like, shut up about it.
Shut the fuck up!
You don't need to have annoying, sad, miserable things in your life for no reason. Either expel it or address it.
Yeah, I agree.
Entropy kills you.
Entropy.
Yeah.
Entropy.
I feel really strongly about that because a lot of... I consider that to be... This is very deep enough in an episode. I feel like I can talk about this publicly. But I feel like...
that's how it works, but okay.
I feel like that's like... You know, people talk about like generational curses.
A plague on both your houses. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that is one of my family's things, is that people just sit with shit and just let it simmer and get more and more and more angry about it until they cut the person off instead of talking. So I aggressively and intentionally override that impulse in myself and try to address things as soon as I'm aware of them, which sometimes takes a little while, but I get maybe overly aggressive about talking things out, I think.
You know what? I was in an AA meeting like years and years and years ago, And this fucking lady said something that I still think about that just makes my skin, like, just makes me feel scared, or like it's just such a haunting thing this woman said. She was talking about her divorce that she went through, that was a divorce that took an extremely long time.
Yeah.
And she said that she described her marriage as saying it was like someone died in the house and no one wanted to clean it up.
Wow.
And I think about that a lot.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's just such just a fucking disturbing way to describe that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, I was talking to my little brother about this the other day, but the way that I see it is like, if you have a huge problem, even if it's your own problem, like something you have to overcome, if there's something that's in front of you that's taking up your time, taking up your stress, like fucking up your life, and you just don't do anything about it, you're just prolonging that problem. Like, you're gonna have problems today and tomorrow, but you can either have today's problems tomorrow and tomorrow's problems, or you can have tomorrow's problems tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to just keep the same thing on your plate forever so you can, like, enjoy the taste of it? What are you doing? Figure it out.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, before I was old enough to be forced to clean my own room, it was like it was the most stressful thing in the world to my child mind. But my mom would just come in my room with a broom.
Yeah.
And just sweep everything in the room into a giant just shit pile.
Yeah.
And then make me clean up the shit pile.
My mom used to do that too. That was my preferred way to clean my room for a while.
Dude, it used to be like, I used to like kick and scream when my mom would do that to my room. It was like hell. But I think that's like, a pretty good, like, metaphor for like what it feels like to clean up your fucking problems sometimes, and the shit you're going through.
Yeah.
Is like the process, like the preliminary process of the problem solving, shit sucks ass hard, dog.
Well, the thing is, I feel like you get comfortable with the problems that you have. Like,
Yeah.
the longer that you have them, the more comfy they feel, and the more... Like, I feel like nobody wants to admit this, and it sounds like it's not true when you first think about it or hear it, but it is true, is like, you get used to being stressed about the same things. Like, I really want to move, or I really want to buy a new car, and like, I'm just talking about it all the time, I'm thinking about it all the time, like, I have to figure that out. I'm looking at apartment listings, I'm looking at new cars, I'm thinking about my bank account, I'm thinking about my credit score, blah 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 blah, and you're doing that for months and months and months and months and months, and you don't do anything, you don't change anything, and you're stressed about it and you're miserable about it, but you can always blame why you're miserable on that car or on that apartment. Like, you just don't have this thing yet, and as soon as you get this thing and this thing, then you'll be good. But it's not your fault that you're stressed out. You just can't do anything yet.
Yeah, and people talk endlessly about how addicting gambling is, and drugs, and people get addicted to abusive relationships, but people don't talk about the fact that you can get addicted to stress.
Yes.
And addicted to addicted to the toxic situation that you're in.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe it's not like an addiction, like you're fucking chronically returning to this thing, but it's an addiction in the sense that divorcing yourself from it is unbelievably difficult while it's happening.
Yeah.
And you may even return to it after, but it's like,
yeah,
it's just as bad. Like, it's like, I feel like gambling addiction is like one of the like best case studies for toxic human behavior, because nobody is physically addicted to gambling. Like, nobody is withdrawing and sweating, and they're sick and throwing up because they didn't gamble. It's pure. It's the most deadly addiction you can have.
Yeah.
And it's like by a scientific standard, it's not addicting, but it's the most deadly addiction.
The most deadly.
Yeah, people commit suicide and get murdered or go missing because of gambling and debt and shit like that. I think that is a true thing. You can fact check me if you want, but
I think people do take their own life because of gambling problems more than any other addiction.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, take from that what you will. What I take from that is that the human mind is very, very, very destructively potent.
Well, you have to remember too, like, it gets a little bit weird when you talk about like chemicals, because when you're gambling, like, it's kind of like how people talk about love addiction. Like, you can be physically addicted to a person because you get these surges of chemicals in your brain when you have different feelings. And if you're experiencing extreme highs, like winning, like thinking you're going to win $1 million, or like actually winning like a couple $100 or whatever, and then extreme lows, like everything is in the mix, like you're risking it all to make sure that you can do this, but you're going to win next time. It's like very similar to like, well, they're going to change, like I love them, and like they said they want to marry me, and now like everything's horrible or whatever. And I think that there's something to that too, like not quite as ramped up, but to like, if you have something that's on your plate that you need to get out of the way and you just can't do it, but you're always thinking about it and you're going to handle it soon, but not today or whatever. Like, my life is so shitty because I haven't done this thing yet, you know? Yeah. Or like having a friend that's like shitty to you, but you won't cut them off because like today you're having fun and then tomorrow they're not answering your calls and whatever. Like, you're fucking with your own head when you do that. And not even in just a like, I'm always thinking about it way, but in a chemical like response way.
Yeah. Man.
I don't know. What were we talking about before that?
I have no idea. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because like now I want to be like, and that's why, and like put a bow on it. But we've talked about so many abstract things.
Yeah, I fucking don't even
completely
know.
Like non-concrete topics.
Also not at all really related.
Yeah, there's not really a way. I don't know, man. I just think that.
And that's the show.
That's it. Bye. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking. It's about taking care of yourself, I guess. These two people we drove by were just staring at us.
Yeah, they looked right
like they wanted to kill us or something.
Probably not.
Yeah, they did. I could tell. I'm psychic. Let me ask you this, Theo.
Okay.
Do you think psychic people are real? Do you think those people are telling the truth?
As a group?
Yeah, like people who are like on Yelp, like advertising their services as a psychic. Are they for real?
I don't talk about this very often because I'm embarrassed, but I think that some of them might be telling the truth. I don't think that they... I think that it's a shtick, though.
Interesting answer.
I think that it is a shtick to make money, like everything is.
Huh.
Like...
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Do I have this, like, God-given gift to do a photorealistic portrait of your dog? Probably not. But I'll tell you I do. Every once in a while, I'll post online that I can.
So you're saying you believe that some people may have some type of spiritual affinity...
Yeah, or like an intuition.
But those people, that pool of people is kind of a little bit tainted by...
I think there are a lot of liars.
By the grind set?
No.
Like by people trying to make money off it is what I mean.
Well, I also think that some of the people that probably do actually have some kind of gift are also people that exist under capitalism that are probably trying to make money.
Oh,
I don't think that they're always... Even the ones that maybe do have... Like, if you have, like, a cousin or something that does have really crazy intuition and knows stuff all the time and is, like, there when you need them, and they are doing, like, work as a psychic, maybe every single time that they do a reading, they're not necessarily on the money. But they might not be lying, also. Do you
want to hear something insane?
What?
Long-time listeners will know that I talk shit about this topic all the time, and, like... am like just really mad about the idea of spiritual and religious leaders existing.
But I just like literally think that I am psychic sometimes.
What do you mean?
Not
You've
necessarily.
never said this to me before.
Well, not. Not really.
What do you mean?
But like, not. It's the wrong word. But like, I don't know why. But like, you know how when people read tarot cards, it is supposed to have abstract, esoteric meanings that you see through the images and you apply to your own life.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just how I see everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going, like I just see things happen and feel like I just watched some type of spiritual allegory that I sometimes wonder if that was a spiritual experience. Like if the universe just showed me something. Like I do think about that all the time.
So
I was being a bit salacious when I said I think I'm psychic. Because I don't really think I'm psychic.
I think a lot about an experience that I had in 2019. I went to visit my Auntie Jen in California. And she taught me how she reads tarot cards. It's my mom's best friend. She's not my blood aunt technically, but I see her not as often as I would like to, obviously, because she lives in LA. But she's really cool. And she was teaching me how she reads tarot cards. And I was hanging out with her and my mom and my sibling at her house, and it was like the middle of the night. We were doing a tarot spread, and she had this like big book. Her and my mom are both really into tarot and astrology and stuff, and they have like, both of them have like really big books that are like details of like all the different ways that you could read the cards and what they all mean and stuff, and like star charts down to the minute for like every like planet in your chart or whatever, and like the different meanings and like love compatibility and all this shit. We were looking through a bunch of books like that, and she told me that the way that she prefers to read them, or to have people read them when they're doing a spread like in front of her, is she doesn't, I don't think that she is a psychic or anything. She just likes doing tarot spreads. But she said that what's helpful for her is to do a spread and to look at it and think about, or like just kind of hold close in your head whatever it is that you want the reading to be about, and to look at the pictures and observe what you think it means and take that as the lesson.
What's interesting about that is that you can do exactly what you just said with like a calendar.
Yeah.
Like with pictures from a dog calendar.
Yeah.
Like, and what's really fucking sick and innovative and fascinating about tarot is the tarot that everybody knows about, the Rider-Waite tarot, is, for background context for anybody that doesn't know, was a spiritual leader or a spiritual writer, like this kind of occult guy, who was I forget what it is. I think Rider is his name and Waite is like the publishing company. It's sometimes referred to as the Rider-Waite Cole, I think that, because Cole is Pamela, I think her name was like Pamela Cole something like that, was the visual artist that did the renderings that went into the deck.
So interesting that was a woman.
Yeah, she was literally commissioned to do it. What's really cool about her too is that you can actually see that exact same artwork in multiple children's books, random picture books, illustrated stories. She was like basically a graphic artist from the turn of the century that did a ton of work when she was alive.
Very cool.
And anyway, and one of them was one of, the most influential, well-known tarot decks that exists, or probably the most. But what's cool about it is it's 78 cards, right? And what's 78 times 2? I don't even know. But basically, every single card has at least 2 directions in which you could interpret it, each of which is an entire book chapter of different directions in which you could potentially interpret the imagery.
Wow.
Right? So that's if you read upright and upside down. If you only read upright, then it's 78 potential pathways, right? Like,
yeah.
And what's cool about it is that It's like, you know what? It's like almost this. It's like, it's literally, everybody does it all the time when they think about dream interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's what tarot is, but it's a predetermined set of images that you read into.
Yeah.
It's literally like Rorschach fucking Jungian image interpretation.
Yeah.
And the cool part about it is the whole spiritual aspect of it is completely irrelevant. And even if you think that the spirituality and all of that's completely stupid and it not real, if you know exactly what all of the cards mean, you can still use it and do readings for yourself and for other people and get a real use out of it and do real readings that are actually accurate to yourself through the images and their intended meanings and the discussion of which and how it relates to you.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's cool because it's very underappreciated, because everyone thinks like, ooh, tarot cards, it's like this spooky thing where it's like divination and a connection with the spiritual realm. But that's actually not like, it's not even relevant at all. It's like meditation. Like, meditation is good for your brain, is scientifically proven to have health benefits and mental benefits to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, the Dharma and the fucking Buddha, like, none of that matters. Well, it does to, the people in that culture. So not to be like a piece of shit to that culture, but like, meditation helps people and the spirituality doesn't matter. And that's the same with tarot, in my opinion.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting, like, when you say, like, do you think that psychics, or do you think that people that read tarot cards or whatever are legit or not? Like, I think it's a complicated question, because I think that even if somebody was wholesale, like, knew they were lying, if they did it in a way that helped somebody, like, if someone came in with the obvious question and you did a spread and you gave them, basically, like, guided them towards them figuring out their own answer that made them feel good and made their life better, I don't think there's anything wrong with giving encouragement to somebody that's seeking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that is something that is a little bit sticky, because you could send someone in any direction if they're like, I don't know. I think there's worse things to do. There's worse hustles.
There's worse hustles.
Even if you're hustling, there's worse hustles.
I'll tell you,
some people are legit.
I'll tell you a cool hustle I saw one time. I was at Santa Monica Beach, and I was about to pay for parking on a parking meter, and this guy came up to me before I paid and was like, yo, don't do that. And he had a little green Starbucks, like, hot cup, like, stick that you put in the cup so the coffee doesn't spill out. And he had a quarter taped to it. And he went up to the fucking parking meter and just stuck it in, like, over and over and over again, like, and it registered the coin with each, like, stab. And he paid for, like, 2 hours of parking or whatever the limit was. And he was like, hey, like, if you guys could throw me some money, I'd appreciate it.
Wow, I would have given him money.
Yeah, we did. Gave him like $5 or whatever. I don't know. We just gave him whatever we were going to pay.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, and this dude was just going up to people over and over again at every parking meter and just being like, yo. And just like, and
I love that.
Paid for all their parking and then asked them for money. It was like the most, like, innovative, like, I don't know if that guy would be considered a panhandler or a magician, or...
He's just providing a service.
The dude provided a dope and very interesting service.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable, honestly. So...
That's actually so funny, because it's not... I was going to say a much needed and kind service, but then I realized, like, it actually didn't cost you less, but it's like the money went to a better place.
It went to a better place, that's true. Yeah, the city of Los Angeles just doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck the city of Los Angeles.
Like, you're in the exact same financial position after the interaction, but you feel better about it.
Yeah, and you kind of get a show. I got a little show at, like, I just saw some guy do a completely sick and, like,
I got a little show.
Like something that you would never think you could do. It's like when you see in cartoons when somebody has like a fake nickel that they have a string tied to and they get candy out of the candy machine. They
Fucking
pull their
nuts.
nickel out.
Maybe that's why they don't take quarter meters around here anymore.
Yeah, there really aren't any, huh?
Yeah, you gotta pay with your fucking debit card.
You'd think that Los Angeles has like robots delivering Uber Eats. You'd think they'd have better parking meters.
Maybe they had an issue with people like doing that like card fishing thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was in 2019. I wonder, it could be different now. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was before. Remember they got rid of change.
What, during COVID?
Yeah.
Can we reflect on the fact that COVID is like gone? Like, is
Wow.
it really over?
Probably fucking not.
But like, it's like not even, nobody, like, there's no systemic anything that factors COVID into it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even notice that it ended.
I did.
Huh. Anyway, that's very negative.
Yeah.
Anywho, maybe we should,
How long have we been recording for?
oh, wait, this is 90 minutes.
Oh. Why are
So,
you saying it like that? Does it show it you in minutes?
no, it's an hour and a half. I don't know why I said that.
Hey, you just said it complicated.
I watched Tangled today.
With the baby?
Yeah, he loved it.
Oh.
I'm lying. He didn't pay attention to it at all.
You just watched it alone.
I watched it while he was present. I'm a babysitter now, for the listeners that don't know. It's one of the most scary and unexpected things I do with my life these days. I babysit an infant once a week.
Is he still an infant?
I don't know.
Months?
When do infants begin and end? I don't know.
think
It's
it's
actually a
birth to 6
very
months.
controversial question these days.
Is it?
Anyway,
It's a controversial question.
don't push. I'm just kidding. But
I'm pro-choice.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't think that he is an infant.
At 8 months.
I think he's just a baby now.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think infant is when you still have like paper skin and you're like,
And they have like a very soft skull.
yeah, when you look like a little walnut.
Dude, he like got me. So his new thing now is that he can stand up, but only by holding on to something.
Oh.
So he'll like crawl over to the couch, stand up, and then fall, just tumble over. And he was doing that, and I was very close to him, laying down on the floor, and he fell and fucking like karate chopped my jugular. Like he just like hit me in the neck while he fell, and it like hurt. Like I was like,
He just like punched you.
yeah, like he like chopped my like the front of my neck.
Oh my god.
And it didn't actually hurt, but it like scared me. Like it was a very firm like throat chop. And I was like, wow. And you know what's funny is like he fell maybe 3 or 4 times. Each of the times it looked like I was like, oh my god, like it looked serious. And the only time he cried after he fell was when I went
Yeah, I noticed he does that.
yeah, like he fell a bunch of times and looked at me and I just didn't even react. And he just was like, all right. And then carried on with his baby activities. But the ones where he took a tumble and I went, oh my God, he began to cry very, very loudly.
Well, there was a time that this was like last week or whatever, where Liam was laying on the couch with him and like holding him like up in the air, kind of above him, and then put him on his lap and was like throwing a little controller like up in the air around him, like playing with it, and it hit him, like it landed on his like chest, and he didn't react, like the baby. But everybody else gasped because me and Jill and your mom thought it was the real video game controller. But it was his little squishy foam one. Like, it was super light.
Yeah.
So it didn't hurt him at all. So he didn't respond at all. But we all went like, because we thought that he got hurt. And he looked at us and he started bawling. And then I was like, wait a minute. Are you just crying? Because are you crying because we're all crying? Like, you're freaking out because you think that you should be? And I said that to him in like a funny voice. And he immediately stopped crying. It was just like confused looking at me.
Yeah.
He was like, yes, I am.
Also, fun fact for anybody that hasn't really met a baby before, did you know that they just make all of the same stuff that we use every day just out of foam for babies to use?
So they can copy.
Yeah, well, no, it's because they want your phone
Yeah,
and they want the remote.
because they want to copy. They want to copy you and learn.
But you can't just give a baby your phone.
You could.
Well, it's not a good idea. Who is it? What if it calls 911 or something? Or
Wait,
like
what did you think I
orders
meant?
Uber Eats or something.
Why'd you say no?
No, I wasn't saying like, oh, brain development. Blue. I was just saying like the baby takes the remote and like just like slobbers all over it and then throws it under the couch and loses it. What?
We're saying the same thing, but you're just giving him less credit.
Well, I know that his brain is like like developing at light speed into like a fucking human being, which
He's
is
in the sensory motor stage. When he chews on stuff,
crazy,
he's learning
dude.
about it. That's how he understands things, is by imitating and by tasting and by touching.
Is it Prometheus that stole fire from the gods?
I think so.
Do you think that that's a metaphor for early humans like achieving consciousness?
Yeah, probably.
Because I think that's what Adam and Eve is, where Adam and Eve stole a little bit of God. And that's why they became conscious.
Are you sleepy? You're doing the Bible thing again.
I'm not doing the Bible thing. You can't call it the Bible thing when I refer to mythology in any way.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Hey, you know what I was doing today with my coworker?
That makes it so horrible. Like, the word Bible is creepy.
I was on Wikipedia today. Do you know that griffins, like the animal, the griffin...
Is that even a real animal? Just kidding.
Did you know that they existed in, like, a ton of different cultures around the same time, and generally are considered, like, a protective animal, but there's no, like, unifying consensus on, like, what they actually represent? But they're in the art of, like, a bunch of different cultures around the world, going back to, like, 3,000 years before Christ.
All right,
Before Common
you
Era.
can't make fun of me, but are griffins a real bird, or are they a mythical animal?
Griffins are half lion, half bird.
Oh. Oh, okay.
With giant
Oh,
wings.
all right.
eagle
I didn't.
wings.
I thought I was thinking of a giant, like, orange bird for some reason.
You are thinking of Fox from Harry Potter.
The phoenix. Mm-hmm. All right. Whatever. Okay. So I'd never actually heard people refer to griffin as lion with wings. I'm sure you're right, but I didn't even realize I didn't realize that's what a griffin is.
It has the head of a bird
Oh.
and big wings, but the body of a lion.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
In some mythologies. But they had them in, like, I think I was, like, breezing the Wikipedia page, honestly, because I was trying to find, like, a unifying, like, theme, but there isn't one. But a lot of, like, in ancient Egypt, they were often depicted alongside sphinxes.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of examples of them in, like, Iran, like ancient Assyrian art, like ancient fucking I want to say, like, European medieval art, but maybe I'm thinking of, like, just, like, lions.
Nah, you definitely find weird bird people in medieval art.
Well, the way
That's
this
definitely a
conversation
thing.
started, how we got into it, I think you would think this is an interesting fact too.
Yeah.
Is we were talking about names that are contemporary names that are popular now that make you think of, like, a little Gen Alpha kid, but were in antiquity very common names. And apparently oh my god.
Wow, loud motorcycle.
Yeah. Apparently in the 1500s, the name Griffin was really popular
Really?
for, like, little boys.
Dude, you know what I'm just realizing also?
What?
Literally in Revelations, I think in one part of the book, there is a, like, fucking bird with, like, a lion's head, or, like, a lion with bird wings or something that is, like, one of the fucking, like... Oh, Revelations is the fucking creepiest fucking thing in the world to me. That fucking... Those, like, weird fucking stories literally make me fucking feel so creeped out. Anyway, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there is like a bird, like a griffin type thing in that.
This is a Wikipedia rabbit hole that I highly recommend for you.
Griffins?
It's a really long Wikipedia page. Also, the Wikipedia page, like the personal history tab on the Wikipedia page of the guy who plays Saeed from Lost.
You can't talk to me about Lost until it's over. When we finish it, I'll read everything about it.
I'm not talking to you about
Don't
Lost.
tell me about it.
I'm talking to you about a real guy.
Yeah, don't tell me about it. We'll learn about all of that when we finish the show.
It's not part of the show.
Please respect me. I just can't do that.
I think his name is Naveen Andrews.
You're doing it.
I'm literally talking about an actor.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, please.
Okay.
I'm not really mad. I'm sorry. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Well, you thought it was cool last time I tried to tell you about it. We just didn't have Wikipedia.
No, I think the last time I had the same reaction.
No, you didn't.
I'm sorry. I love you.
I love you too.
It's like become a show tradition for me to like piss you off and apologize every episode.
Yeah, well, you always tell me to shut up. I
didn't mean to tell you to shut up.
Every single episode, you tell me to shut up or you don't listen.
Is it bedtime now?
Yeah, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, fuck this episode.
I want to watch Lost.
I just literally feel so stressed about the notion of reading anything online about any actor or anything about something while I'm watching it.
I know.
Because then it will fucking... You can't just look at words and not read them. Like, they just go into your brain telepathically when you look at them. So if you see something that's a spoiler, it just instantly... You know what I mean? You're looking at me angrily.
No, I'm not angry.
I love you. All right, let's shut this fucking episode off. Fuck it.
Wait, fuck.
Fuck what?
I forgot to go to the store.
Oh, shit. Could we go to 7-Eleven?
I guess so.
Let's keep recording. Another 10 minutes.
I gotta buy
We're not
tampons.
leaving. You know what's funny is I was overly private about. I was like, I won't say what Theo needs to buy at the store.
I knew you were doing that, and then I was like, I don't care. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
You know what? I posted on Threads today. And I was like,
Threads.
I was all pissed because I was at work, and they have a tampon dispenser at my job, but it's a fucking tease because it takes quarters. It's like, why the fuck would I be on the toilet with a quarter? What year is this?
The tampon dispensers are
Every
they're in the stall?
No, they're actually in the like main area outside of the stall, like in the room. But fucking every public bathroom has one of those, and they all take coins. Sometimes they take nickels. It's like, what the fuck? Why
nickels?
Yes, nickels or quarters.
What?
It's like, why the blue fuck would I have coins on me in the bathroom? Like, first of all, if I'm at my job and I'm like getting up from my desk to use the restroom, it's like I don't even have my purse on me. It's like weird to just bring your whole ass purse into the bathroom. It's like just telling everybody you're changing your tampon. Like, I'll just bring it with me, whatever. But then if I don't have one with me, and I'm like, oh, fuck, like, I didn't realize that I needed this. Toilet paper? Free. Washing my hands? Free. Soap? Free. Sometimes there's, like, little, like, air fresheners in there. Tampons? 25 cents, please. Bitch. Idiot.
That's actually mad dumb because, like, medical suppliers and, like, you ever heard of Bob Barker products?
No.
Is the guy from fucking, I don't know.
Familiar.
He's like a game show host from the 80s or something. I think he's dead. But this is a very weird factoid about this man, but he is a prison and facilities, toiletries and medical products like mogul.
Oh.
Where literally in every like prison or psychiatric facility or whatever, like in America, everything is a Bob Barker product. It says Bob Barker on it.
Weird.
Like the shampoo, fucking tampons, flip-flops, towels,
What a
soap,
creepy
Bob Barker
legacy.
shit. Yeah, but it's apparently all of the facilities use them because they're affordable. They're the cheapest thing you could possibly buy for those facilities. You know, they're not like buying fucking real shampoo and shit. They get Bob Barker only.
Wow.
And it's like the grossest, wackest shit you could ever use.
What a piece of shit.
I know, like such a weird like business world for that guy to be into.
Yeah.
And also, who the like? What kind of weirdo would do that and then put his own name on it?
I know.
Like, why wouldn't you just call it like, I don't know, like compact toiletries?
Brian Huntress soap.
No, like Brian Huntress, prison soap, soap for people who we don't consider human. It's so shitty that it's barely legally considered soap.
Brian Huntress.
Yeah, I would never do that. I would like create like a shell company to like advertise.
I would do it, but not have my name on it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't like. I mean, I guess if I had some weird reason to be involved with like mass distribution of cheap soap, and it stood to make me money. I mean, I don't. Maybe I would be involved somehow, but I definitely wouldn't like wake up one day and be like, you know what? I want to sell disgusting toiletries to prisoners.
But even if I did to sell shitty bathroom tampons, I would take Apple Pay.
Oh, no, the reason that I brought that up is because for any major company, like anywhere, like buying tampons, like especially from somewhere that was just very, 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 very cheap, like it would probably like cost them nothing. Like it makes no sense for them to be charging money for something, like, you know, is all I'm saying. Like they could get an affordable version of that.
I think the more likely thing is that they're required to have a dispenser in the bathroom, but it doesn't have tampons in it because nobody uses it.
Oh, even if you put the money in, it has no tampons in it?
I don't know. I've never had a quarter in the bathroom. Who does?
Wait.
I've never met someone who has bought a tampon in a public restroom.
Maybe old people?
Old women?
Well, not
How old? They probably don't need them.
Do you think like old people have coins?
Old people don't have periods.
That's true. Well, I knew that. I don't know. Should we do an ambient walk into 7-Eleven?
I guess so.
While still recording?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, let's run in real quick. This is the worst 7-Eleven ever. What'd you say?
I said maybe something will happen. You ever walk into
Just
7-Eleven,
something awful?
Like, maybe something will happen.
I used to hang out at the 7-Eleven every night until like 4 a.m. just standing out here smoking cigarettes.
You were the darkness.
I was the darkness, yeah. That was like multiple years I used to do that. Yeah, it's a pretty dark period of my life. Yeah, it sucked.
I used to do basically the same thing, but at a coffee shop and I didn't smoke cigarettes.
Well,
So kind of not the same.
that's completely worlds more acceptable. They don't have them?
They have these though. I guess I'll buy these.
Is that an acceptable alternative?
It'll do.
What about those? Isn't that what you use?
Actually, yeah. Why are they? Oh, they moved them. So it's this price. That's fine.
$9?
Yeah. That works for me.
All
I'll
right.
do that.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I gotta pee.
Do you want anything else?
No.
Should I get a treat? I don't
No,
think I
we're about to go.
actually-
We're about to go home, dude.
Is there anything at home?
Yeah, we got treats.
We got treats at home. Karen
We're
said.
we're stacked up on treats.
Should I get that?
No, let's go.
Where's my wallet?
Mr. Beast.
Wow, what the hell? I think I had a dream that I was Mr. Beast.
Yeah, you did.
Anything else?
Oh, that's all.
Feedback?
No thanks.
All right. $8.99.
Thank you. Oh, right here?
You see?
I'm all set. Thanks so much.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Did you see that when I said that thing about that dream I had about being Mr. Beast? That guy laughed.
Do you think he watches Mr. Beast? Do you think he's subscribed to Mr. Beast?
Did you notice that he had a full beard but no eyebrows?
No. Maybe it's a TikTok thing.
He bleached his eyebrows. That man is like 70 years old.
I noticed that he looked amazing.
He looked amazing? Well, what do you mean he looked amazing?
It was a TikTok
Oh.
joke. I was riffing.
How is it a TikTok joke?
I was bringing it back. I was bringing it back to the beginning.
It was a callback.
God, Brian.
I'm sorry. I'm just a total piece of shit.
Column of tissue.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
And it's NPR. All right, let's go home now. We gotta watch Lost.
Yeah. Yo, I have tomorrow off.
Do you have to wake up early?
No.
Oh fuck yeah! It's so annoying when you wake up early.
I fucking hate it. Now that I have a job where I work from home 2 days a week, I'm so spoiled. Because the removal of the commute, like I still have to start working at the same time, but the fact that I don't have to drive, I was recently driving like an hour and 45 minutes to work every single day. And I just got used to it. So now I just sleep right until I'm supposed to sign on. And I don't usually have a meeting until like an hour into my day. So I'll sign on. I'll immediately start working. I'll be in my bed, like haven't even brushed my teeth, and I'm just like immediately start doing a spreadsheet. Do that for like 45 minutes, get dressed, brush my teeth, eat, and then just jump on the call if I have one. If I don't have one, I might stay in bed all day. And it's insane. Like it's so actually kind of bad for my mental health that I'm doing it like
I was
that.
about to say that sounds horrible for your mental
But
health.
it's awesome because I can sleep all day.
That's
basically.
awful.
It's actually really good for my like,
Yeah, I just wake up from a dream in the middle of typing a spreadsheet, and then I cry all day while looking at TikToks, and every second I have free time. If there's a moment of free time, I'm watching 4 or 5 TikToks.
It's actually really, really good for my productivity. Like, I can hyper focus, which is awesome. But the thing is, I think I also hyper focus at my desk when I go into work, but it's more healthy because I have like specific times that I do stuff. Like, I prioritize my tasks based on when I have access to the printer, or I have like lunch, or my friend is coming to see me for lunch, or I have like this thing that I'm going to in the building or whatever. So like I move around and like eat, and I don't do that when I'm at home and like in the same room all day. So that is a little bit weird, but it's kind of also nice to be able to be in the same room all day. Like, I only have to do the whole like putting on like a work outfit and doing my makeup and my hair and like waking up at like fucking 7 or whatever, like all of that little morning routine. I was used to that being like almost every single day, and now it's only 3 days, which is really nice. Because if I want to not be a piece of shit and actually wake up early and get dressed and like go to the library to do my work from home, I can also do that. There's nothing stopping me. I just choose to.
What's up with those fucking WeWork things in Boston
You have to
or
pay for
Brockton?
them.
Yeah, but how much do those people pay? Like, are those affluent people in there, or is that like a public like service thing?
I think neither. I'm pretty sure that WeWork is for like meetings and stuff.
Oh, you mean people
Like you rent time in a boardroom, or like if you have like if you're a startup business and you want to rent an office space but you're not gonna like actually get a lease, maybe you'd rent a couple of weeks in an office to test out whatever.
Haven't those people ever heard of the library?
You can't have a legitimate business meeting in a library.
Yes, you can. You can rent out a fucking conference room in the library.
Okay, but are you gonna fucking like, if you're trying to invest in an app and it's like a startup and the guy's like, meet me at the library?
Yeah, but what if the guy said, meet me at WeWork?
That's normal. That's what WeWork is for.
Oh.
Well, I guess it depends what the business is. Maybe not if he's like your accountant.
Meet my accountant at WeWork?
Yeah, I would hope he would have an office.
Oh, you mean the accountant is like... I thought you meant inviting an accountant to WeWork, but the accountant is the one that's at WeWork.
That's even weirder. Why are you hosting?
I don't... Because my accountant is a bum. He has no fucking off. I don't even... When do you need an accountant, you think?
When you have accounts.
When you have accounts.
When you have a buttload of money. A buttload?
What year are you in?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I tried to say boatload, and I didn't say that. I'm so sorry. Is that fucked up to say? What does
Yeah,
that
you're
mean?
fucking canceled, dude. That was funny. No, I don't think saying buttload is offensive. I think that's just something that 11-year-olds say.
Did we take this end bit too far?
It's too hot.
Did I elevate
It's
this?
too hot.
It's too hot. I just ruined the whole episode.
I want to go home.
All right, that's it. Boston Art Podcast. I gotta edit this right now.
Stop doing that. It's become a pet peeve of mine.
Fuck you.
That you do that every episode at the end. Every single one. I'm going to make a montage. Instead of protesting this
You'll
every
never
time,
make a montage.
I'm going to do it.
It's literally never gonna happen.
You've just guaranteed that I'm going to do it.
literally,
by saying that.
no, you're not.
It would be so easy to do. I just go to the last 2 seconds of every single episode. And then
just
screen record and then stitch them in iMovie.
Good luck.
Fuck you.
Let me know when you do.
I'll let everybody fucking know when I make my montage
It'll never
of
happen.
you. Yes, it will.
All right. Well, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
This is coming out tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
Yo, so if you're listening to this, get your ass to LTC this afternoon.
Yeah, come through. Everybody, we're doing a live podcast recording at Lowell Telemedia Center, or I don't know.
Telecommunications Center.
Lowell Telemedia Communication Center. Yeah. And it's going to be awesome. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did I do? I didn't mean to...
You can't promote events by clearly not giving a fuck.
I do give a fuck. It's the end of the episode. I'm fatigued. I'm not trying to make it sound bad. I'm just being weird. I'm just being weird, dude.
Well, it's gonna be fun.
It will be. All right. Boston Art Podcast.
You're allowed to say it. It's okay.
All right, bye.
I'm still gonna make the montage, though.
Wow, we're at 2 hours now.
What the hell?
Yeah, hour and 55 on this.
Maybe we should
this
cheat
one.
and break this one up.
Fuck that. No way,
Free
dude.
Free episode.
No.
Freebie.
No.
You're gonna regret that.
Our
next week. I'm
listeners,
gonna remind you of
our
this.
listeners, I don't think they would appreciate split up shit. To be fair, I don't care when other podcasts do that, but I feel like,
That would piss Trevor off.
yeah, we do this for Trevor.
Yeah. Are you guys beefing still?
Yeah, Trevor's my mortal enemy. And,
You guys should announce that you're gonna do like a cage fight.
a cage fight with Trevor.
Like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. But you're Elon.
But I'm Elon. Thanks, Theo. You fucking asshole. Elon looks like shit.
That's not what I meant.
Say what you will about Mark Zuckerberg, but that dude is like a fucking like athletic demon. Like literally just watch him do jujitsu on YouTube. Like that guy could fuck up like a lot of different people probably.
I forgot to tell you that I had a whole debate with my office about you.
About me?
Because of this.
What?
I told everyone
Yeah.
in my office about the Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk thing, and me and Kelly both knew about it. And then I was like, well, did you know that Mark Zuckerberg does jujitsu? And he's like one of the best fighters in the world.
You
He's
said
really-
that Mark Zuckerberg is the best jiu-jitsu fighter in the world.
Yes, I did. And I said, Brian told me that.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was pretty sure you said it. And
Are you serious?
So then-
Wait, you really just fucked up like that?
What? So then Lucia, my coworker, fact checks me live during the debate and told me to tell you that you're wrong.
You fucking
I told her I
suck.
would. I told
you
her
just
I
made
would.
me look like a fucking idiot. Mark Zuckerberg, best jiu-jitsu fighter on earth.
Yeah, I said that he was like one of the best.
That's absolutely not true.
Well, that's what Lucia said when she checked it.
That he's one of the best?
That he's not.
Oh, no,
She
he
did say
isn't.
that he is trained under some like really reputable people, though. No results.
Let me say this. If me personally, if I was just in some situation where I had to wrestle Mark Zuckerberg, he'd probably fuck me up.
Damn.
Maybe, I don't know.
Does he
Maybe
have kids?
maybe I could punch him really bad, like effectively, and he'd like die or something.
How old's Mark Zuckerberg?
He's probably like 37.
Does he have kids?
Yeah, I think he has a couple kids.
Really?
I think he has like babies. I don't think he has I think his kids are like one, if he has any.
So there are heirs to the meta fortune.
Oh, definitely, dude. Huh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, yeah. Elon's got heirs, dude. That guy's got like fucking 25 kids.
Do you think any of them are like in the line of succession though?
No. Nah, he's just
Written
gonna
out of the
he's
will.
just gonna give all of it to
SpaceX.
to like some like Republican political campaign or something.
He's gonna have some weird shit in his will. It's gonna make everyone mad.
That dude is just literally a total fucking piece of shit.
He's gonna like die like in some really weird, unexpected way. Like not that old.
Like he's gonna die like parasailing.
Yeah, like
And,
something
like,
crazy is
He's gonna
happen.
be like in like Australia parasailing.
And it's gonna
like,
be like a stipulation of his will that all his money just gets burned or something, like as a gesture.
or maybe they'll send it all into space. They'll
Yeah.
they'll print it all in cash, just full cash, all of his savings, and then just shoot it into space.
No, it will be printed in cash. He'll be in the rocket, and they'll both go together to space, and it'll explode by accident.
You know what I read online one time?
Implode.
Did you know that major like financial institutions like the Federal Reserve and major banks print bills as large as $100,000 bills and $1,000 bills only for internal like special use?
For like
And
storage.
it's illegal for regular citizens to own bills that large, but apparently the Federal Reserve does use them in some instances.
I wonder if that is for like storage purposes.
You-
Because a room full of like $20 bills. Like I used to be a bank teller, and the inside of an ATM is crazy. It's just like stacks of money. You don't-
hundreds and 20s?
Yeah.
Or
It just
just
takes up
20s
so much
maybe?
space. Like a band of $100 bills is like an inch fat. If you think about it, and that's only $100.
Yeah,
So,
it's not that much, really.
If you were like the Federal Reserve and you had to store a shit ton of cash, there's probably like a lot of money that just stays permanently in the possession of the Federal Reserve that doesn't get transferred out. And if you're going to represent that in cash for some reason, maybe that would be why.
Yeah, because we've been off the gold standard since like the 50s or something. And you'd think like, oh, like they just have the value of the money existing digitally. But that makes no fucking sense, because what did they do in the 80s? You know?
I just realized something.
What?
We like need to shut the fuck up right now.
Why?
I'm going to bed.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fuck this episode.
This is like 2 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
And we're
All
talking
right.
about a whole new subject. We could keep going.
I would like to talk about money now. Just kidding. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
My brain is like, I have more ideas.
I have more ideas.
I didn't even talk about the shit that you made me stop talking to you about in IHOP. You're like, we'll save it for a recording. 2 hours later. Didn't even bring it up.
That's on you. It just punches me in the face. All right. Boston Art Podcast. I can't believe this is going to be posted in like
Boston.
actually like 5 hours. They go out at 5 a.m.
It's midnight?
Yeah, it's midnight. All right, bye.
What the fuck?
Boston Art Podcast is an independent DIY production by Brian Huntress and Theodora Earthworms. The information contained in this episode represents the views and opinions of the original creators or our guests, and does not represent any institution, organization, or business. Find us on Instagram at Boston Art Podcast, and tune in for a new episode every Friday. Thank you for listening.